want to encourage everyone here. Never be too familiar with the grace of God upon your pastor that you will now look down on it and you no longer work for you. Men, we are following Jesus. Thousands of men, we are walking with Jesus. They were too familiar to recognize that they touch and kill him. But they followed him because all they ever wanted from him was to eat fish and bread. Fish and what? Bread. But they don't know that the man they follow can change their life forever. The man they follow can make them to eat fish and bread. The man they follow can give them abundance. But they were just following him. Following him! They were too familiar with it. Someone was telling me, one just said, I just said, go look at the mask, one just said, I just said, never follow him. But the woman, the Bible said, she has suffered many things of many physicians. She has suffered so many things in the house of so many physicians for 12 years. She had all Jesus. He said, that man that raised the dead, that man that made the blind to see, that man that do all these wonders, is passing through my environment. Oh God, if you can help me to touch the hem of his garment, I shall be made whole. The Bible says this woman slipped in between the crowd and stood so down, moving through them, rushing to touch Jesus. While she was moving to touch Jesus, many people marched on her. Many people accused her. Some told her you are smelling. But she did not look at them. Her eyes was on the man she needed to touch. If you come to the church, look up to Jesus to get to touch. If you come to church, look up to Jesus. You came to touch. Don't look at men that are busy. Don't look at men that are insulting. Don't look at men that came to gossip. There are people the enemy has sent your way to remove you from the source where your blessing is. They began to speak to you. The devil anoints their head, and anoint them to preach to you. They began to preach to you. When you begin to listen to them, it becomes a distraction to where you are going. But when your eyes is fastened to Jesus, a woman that has bled for 12 years must be smelling. Two of us? Two of us? But in the midst of the insults, her eyes was on who? Where? Her eyes was on Jesus. If only I could touch the hem of his garment. People are pleased. Some teacher. Yeah, see